everyone, and welcome to Automate Live. And I'm thrilled to have my friend and peer, Michael Muldoon, who's a head of sales and marketing at AV&R Robotics, and he's here as an exhibitor as well. And I've had Michael on podcasts, webinars, and so we are old friends now.
Thank you, Jim.
So
great to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled. So, Michael, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, about how you got into this industry, and about AV&R?
Sure, I'd love to. So, AV&R has been around since 1994. I joined in 2007, and I've been part of automation my whole career. So, when I graduated University of Windsor, and I worked for a company named Radix. They were bought by AS Technologies, but I was into machine vision, robotics, for automotive, food and beverage, across a wide range of industries. Then when I moved up to Montreal, I joined AV&R, and we were going through this niche focus, and they were into a lot of different industries as well. And we were looking at what was happening around and getting into all types of projects. Some were great, some were tough, and we were learning a lot and having a lot of fun. And we said, you know, instead of trying to be good at everything, let's pick a couple niche markets and really focus on trying to be the best at those. So the technology markets that we focused on was robotic finishing and visual surface inspection. And the industry verticals, so up in Montreal, in Quebec, there's a lot of aerospace. You've got the GEs, you've got the Pratts, you've got Rolls Royces, and we had great relationships with them, and we said, let's build on that. We saw a great potential for robotic finishing and surface inspection. Well, back then in 2007, everything was done by hand. And now with the new engine programs today and the ramp up that's happening, they saw that coming because they have a longer term outlook. Engine programs last 25, 30, 40 years. And so they knew that they had to change. And we saw the potential in some of our technology, and we said, you know what? Let's focus on this and get really good at this. More recently, we branched out into the orthopedic implant industry, and very similar quality systems, all forged parts, cast parts, critical in nature, going inside of people's body. Actually, it's small miracles. You know, my dad just got 2 new knees.
Nice. And
it's a new life for him. So, you know, those industries have been really good to us, and that's how we kind of built a name for ourselves.
So AV&R, and I've had the advantage of being in your facility, but can you tell us what an AV&R system looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a robot at the center, you know, and typically it's a yellow robot because we're partnered with Fanuc, and they produce such a solid machine that we've never had to change. But that robot is just one component of it. We've got all types of spindles and tools, because when we sit down with a customer, it's not necessarily what robot are we using, it's what work needs to get done within that. And then a huge component that we've been working hard on to bring it all together is the software. You've got so many moving parts within that system, and make it easier for a customer to adapt to their needs. That's been a big deal for us. And we realize that, you know, the easier we make it for them, the more they're able to digest and use this technology, so it becomes a problem solver for them, it becomes a money maker for them, and they want more systems.
So when I was in your facility, I was looking at fan blades from a airplane motor. We were looking at other shiny objects.
Yeah.
So the images get captured, and then a defect is found.
Yep.
And then what happens?
Okay, so you're kind of leading me down the path of inspect and repair.
Sure.
So in the more exotic applications, for example, we did an open project with Rolls-Royce and some of the universities in Montreal, where we're finding defects on engine run parts. We're characterizing them, so we're analyzing them in 3D, and automatically we're coming up with a repair process. And the part gets handed off to another robot, and that robot repairs according to that recipe. And then we did it into all different other types of applications. Maybe you want to measure a feature and do something adaptive. And so we take a specific measurement of that feature, adjust the robot recipe in real time, and we come in and blend that off. In every industry, it doesn't matter how accurate you say your parts are, there's always a little personality to those parts. So tools like that become critical for.
And your vision capabilities are really unique because you use robots to, and I'm assuming robot like vision attached to robots or vision overhead robots, and you're doing some really precise measurements.
That's right. Yeah. So you can go either way. Either the robot's holding the part, presenting it to a series of cameras, or we're picking up the cameras for big parts, and we're moving them around the part. Essentially, we're mimicking what a person does. You know, like a person is actually a very intelligent entity that's working in these manufacturing plants, and they're picking up these parts and they're analyzing, and all those years of experience are going into that. So one aspect is the image acquisition, getting all the right angles of cameras and lights.
Yep.
Then you have all the filtering that goes on. So once you have your image, you got to sort through the noise. And we have some tricks around that. And then you pop out what shouldn't be on that surface, right? And so you classify it because often there's different tolerances on different defects.
Yes.
So you got to figure out what defect is that, so I know how to tolerance it, and then you set your tolerances. So there's quite a stack that happens as you analyze that part.
And Montreal is a bit of a hotspot for technology companies.
Yeah.
I was just talking to someone about that. You've got great universities, great vision professionals, awesome roboticists, and so that's one of the challenges that a lot of companies face, but you've kind of been able to attract a lot of people. Why is that?
Why is it? Well, we work closely. We have co-op students, or stagiaires, we call them in Montreal, come through quite often. You know what? The universities have done a great job building out some really interesting programs. There's a lot of great robotics programs. So you get companies like Metrodemic, you get Canova that build robots.
Yes.
But then you get companies like us that build out solutions on top of that. And so the young talent that's coming out, these guys are sharp. And they understand the math behind the robots, they understand the algorithms, and it becomes a really, they bring energy to the company, so it becomes really fantastic having those guys on board.
So we're here at Automate 2023.
Yep.
What do you have in your booth? 2 minutes.
Yep. So in our booth, we're actually sharing a booth with 3M. Yesterday we announced the next stage in our partnership with 3M. We have co-branded systems for robotic finishing. So we launched 2 systems with them. We've worked closely with them for many years. October 2020, we started with a lab in Montreal with them. So in the 3M booth, we have one of our BFX 200s, which is the configuration we're having. We're showing off some aerospace applications, polishing, profiling of turbine blades with an adaptive process. And it's been a fantastic show.
And how can people reach out to you if they are seeing this video and they go, I got to talk to Michael Muldoon?
Yeah, well, everybody's on LinkedIn now, so absolutely look for me on LinkedIn. You can check us out on our website, avr-global.com. And absolutely love to hear from everyone and to challenge us with some of the interesting applications.
And what's your booth number what's the 3M booth number? Do you know?
I think
We'll
it's
have to find it.
I think it's 1018.
1018.
I believe so, yes.
Hey, listen, thanks for coming on, and appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Yeah, right on. Appreciate it, Jim.